Hippie podcast, where art and wellness collide. Well, hi and welcome back to the Healthy Metal Hippie. Today we are talking about sweet fluffers. So, if you were watching last solo episode that I did, you'll have seen Arrow hopping in and out of the episode, and he's actually right here right now. So I decided we need to talk about this wonderful dog and dogs in general. Yes, he is a happy boy. You can see his little nose peeking out if you're watching on YouTube. So the other day I was at work and I left to go home, and there was a man sitting outside of the station. I think he was without a home, or at least in a tough situation at the time. Okay. And he was sitting with a dog, which I think was kind of like a pit bull sort of mix. As I was walking into the station, I suddenly hear him screaming like really horrible things that I probably wouldn't say to my worst enemy, let alone to my fluffy bestie. Okay. And things that I think it would pain me to repeat. And also, I don't think I should repeat it on here. Cool. So, and in addition to that, when I heard him start yelling, I stopped on the steps going down to the station, and I just turned. I just watched him for a while to see where this was going to go, because he's hitting his dog in the head, and he's punching the dog, and he's grabbing the lead and pulling him back and forth like that. Yeah, it was very sad, Arrow. So I stood there for several minutes, and he looked over and he was like, "You all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, hey, like, I know having a dog can be really stressful sometimes, but like, are you doing okay? Is everything all right?" And he was, yeah, mate, don't worry. This is my best mate here. This is great. She's just trying to pull me out into the rain, because yeah, it was raining, and he was saying if this little so-and-so if he had to sit in the rain, so was the dog, and blah blah blah. That's a really nice way of putting it. And she's getting me all wet, and was so angry. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I just kind of was like, this isn't okay though. I'm like, I know it's tough. And then he's like, "It's all right." Oh, and obviously my face must have just dropped, because he's like, "Don't worry. Oh, it's okay. It's all right." And I started sobbing. And so I continued down the stairs quickly, and I couldn't help it. And I just started sobbing. And I really started sobbing for like about 7 hours after this whole incident. And it, honestly, the whole thing killed me. I can't even tell you. I was like tight chest. I was gasping for air through the whole train journey. I sat down and people were like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I was like, "No." And I just saw this, blah, blah, blah. I put a report in, and luckily I got a response quite quickly that officials were looking into it and were on the case. And I'm really thankful for that, because honestly, while I'm worried about his well-being, I'm worried about the dog's well-being too. I hate saying it, but probably mostly the dog's well-being. I've never seen anybody be so violent towards an animal. I'm not stupid. I know that it happens, but I could not stand by and just let this happen. And I also felt that if I got personally involved at the minute, that it might have ended up being dangerous for me. So I wanted proper people to help. Anyway, and so it sounds like it was taken care of, and I just felt sick to my stomach. I came home and I hugged my little fluffy boy, and I gave him lots and lots of puppy kisses. And, I was thinking I actually wouldn't even talk about it, but I did put it up for my friends on Facebook. But like, the thing that broke my heart even more was, even though this guy is like hitting this dog and everything, the dog was still loyal. Like, the dog did try to bite him when he punched it and was really rough with it, but the dog just relaxed right away and just stood next to him. Like how your doggies are patient when you're like, if you run into your neighbor on the street and they just kind of stand there and they're like, okay, Mom, you just have your little chat. Well, it was kind of like that. The dog was just standing there being super sweet and patient. The dog, was, as far as I saw anyway, was not pulling him around. He was just bullying a dog. Cool, huh? Ugh, people disgust me sometimes. Honestly, I think about that and I'm like, first of all, you would never treat your actual best friend that way. You would not beat the crap out of them and expect them to stand by your side like nothing ever happened. You just wouldn't. I also think about how much dogs love us totally unconditionally, and we generally don't deserve them because they are so sweet and they are so precious. And yes, it can be so stressful to have puppy dogs sometimes. Any pets, really, right? But you love them and you cherish them. And I was just shocked. Something that kind of came up telling my partner about it was that kind of old saying that, like, I felt awful that I didn't do more. I was so worried about this dog. And, you know, you're kind of talking about how there's like that two kinds of evil in the world, right? The people that actually commit evil acts and the people that stand by and do nothing, right? So there's one thing that when I see crazy stuff happen on trains, I love the fact that, like, actually the people of London come together and they take care of business. And I really admire that. And I think it's really cool. But I think as people that we need to just keep standing together, be united in the face of good. Maybe not just self-serving good, but good for humanity and good for the people around us, even maybe the ones that you don't totally love. I think it's important, especially as difficult as things are right now and as sadly crazy as the world is getting in many ways. It's important that we stand together and stand up for the people with no voices or diminished voices. This little fluffer, he didn't have a voice, and I did my very best to be his, and I will stand up for cute puppies and kids and anybody being horribly mistreated any day, because that's how we move forward and that's how we progress as a society and as a community. It's important that we're all aware of it and that we really understand that even though we are that one tiny grain of sand, we can absolutely make change. We can send ripple effects. We can make change in our lives. We can make change for other people, and your positivity and your help and your leadership inspires others to do the same. And that is how we change the world. So maybe your situation is not about a puppy. Maybe it's about something else. Maybe it is political. Maybe it is just social. Maybe it is something in your friend group, or whatever the case may be. We have the power to make change. And I hope that you understand and appreciate just how much of an impact that you can make, even just being the little grain of sand. Sending you so much love today, and we will see you guys soon. Bye. Thanks so much for joining us on the Healthy Mental Hippie podcast. For more ways to connect, go to www.healthymentalhippie.com.